Need to tell you why I left, he began, his voice barely above a whisper. I'm not your biological father. The words hit me like a physical blow. I sat down hard in the chair opposite him. What? I had suspicions, he continued, his voice steady now. Your mother had been acting strange, protective of her phone. I found messages. I did a DNA test. When I confronted her, she confessed to having an affair. My head was spinning. I gripped the edge of the table to steady myself. She begged me to forgive her, he went on, but I couldn't stay. Every time I looked at you, I saw her betrayal. It wasn't fair to you. You were innocent in all this, but I couldn't handle it. But I always paid the alimony. I couldn't be there for you, but I made sure you were taken care of financially. What do you mean you paid alimony? I asked, my voice shaking. Mom always said you never sent a penny. She and Steve kept telling me I had to help with Tommy and pay rent because you weren't supporting me. Dad, well, I guess not really. My father reached into his jacket and pulled out a thick envelope. Inside were bank statements. Here's of them, showing monthly transfers to my mother's account. $2,000 every month without fail, he said quietly. I set up automatic payments the day I left. I stared at the papers, my hands trembling. Each statement showed the same thing. Regular monthly payments. All clearly labeled child support. Sheila. Years of them. Tens of thousands of dollars that I had never seen a cent of. I felt sick. All those years of being told I was a burden. Of working at the cafe while trying to study. Of paying rent to my own mother. All she had been receiving money meant for me every single month. Why are you here now? I asked, pushing the statements away. After all this time? He shifted uncomfortably in his chair, suddenly looking even more frail. I have some news, Sheila. The pieces actually. First, I can't have children. Secondly, I'm dying, Sheila. Cancer. Doctors give me 2 years at most. I sat there stunned. This man who I had spent years hating, who I had blamed for everything wrong in my life, was sitting at my kitchen table telling me he was dying. After I left, I threw myself into work, he continued. Made some smart investments. I've done well for myself, very well. But I have no family, no children of my own. And despite everything, despite not being your biological father, I've never stopped thinking of you as my daughter. What are you saying? I want to make you my heir, Sheila. Everything I have, the house, the investment properties, my savings. I want it all to go to you. The room started spinning. I gripped the edge of the table, trying to process what he was saying. This man who I had thought abandoned me had been supporting me all along. And now he was dying and wanted to leave me his fortune. I need time to think about this, I managed to say. He nodded and stood up slowly. Of course. Here's my card. Call me when you're ready to talk. I walked him to the door in a daze. Before he left, he turned to me one last time. For what it's worth, Sheila, I'm sorry. Not for leaving your mother. She made her choices. But I'm sorry for leaving you. I should have found a way to tell you the truth. I barely slept that night. By morning I knew what I had to do. I drove to Mom and Steve's house. My hands gripping the steering wheel so tight, my knuckles turned white. Tommy was at school, and Steve's car wasn't in the driveway. Perfect. Mom answered the door in her gardening clothes, looking surprised to see me. Sheila, what are you doing here? We need to talk, I said, walking past her into the house. The living room looked exactly the same. Tommy's toys everywhere. His school photos dominating the walls. Dad came to see me yesterday. Mom froze halfway to the couch. What? Yeah. Interesting conversation. He wants to make me his heir. Apparently he's done pretty well for himself. He what?